All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to McFast Capital. My name is Michael Chu. Today is Monday, November 10th, 2025. We are near 9 a.m. Eastern Mountain Time, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Let's take a quick look at the market here. So this morning, the market index, McFast Capital. My name is Michael Chu. Today is Monday. Yeah, sorry. The market index are up pretty nicely this morning. A couple of news here. Let me just bring up the news here. So the shutdown, there's hope that the shutdown might end for the government here. That's one reason. The other reason was there was some lifting in restrictions on minerals from China, exports, in terms of exports. I'm not sure if it's mentioned here. Yeah, it wasn't mentioned here, but yeah, there was some news about that. So anyhow, so the market seems optimistic to open on a Monday gap up morning, and it was after we test the 50-day here last week on Friday, and we bounced as we close at the end of the day very strong. But here's QQQ, and then today we gap up and we come back to the 10-day. Now the 10-day line is super important in terms of short-term trend. And if we draw a trend line along the highs here, we did kind of surpass that this morning. So that's the good news, right? Now the 10-day is slow to turn. So therefore, right now you can see it is slightly above the 10-day, but not by much. So that is something to watch out for. And right now, this morning, we are starting to test the lows of the intraday here, and that could be either it could be successful and bounce off here, or we could drop really fast and come back down, and that would be really negative. And I would think if that happened, a lot of people will be shorting the market, because that's a very good reversal, and that would be a rejection at the 10-day as well. So something to watch out for. It could happen, but again, we don't know for sure, right? So SPY, very similar pattern here above the 10-day, just slightly, and look, it already broke the intraday low, so that already is a negative in that sense. Okay, so unless this bounce really fast, there's no reason to believe that this won't go back lower. So that is the negative again there. Let's look at Dow. Very similar action. We came back above the 10-day, and then now this looks even worse. This one actually come back down to the 21-day, where they kind of very similar range right now for 10 and 21-day. And so again, another reversal here on Dow. So look at this sharp, you know, so not only they fell, and after it fell, it got rejected again as it tries to come back up, and so that again shows how the selling pressure is building up again, right? So overall, this is still in a downtrend, even though again, the key to the 10 days is that it has to not only come above that line, but also like be able to hold that line for at least a couple of days, and then follow through on that. And this is not even holding for the day. Again, too early to tell. We don't know where we close. Maybe perhaps we will close at the top of the range, but at this moment it doesn't look good. Here's Russell, very similar behavior. This one, because the all the short-term 10, 21, and 50-day, including the red line, is all converging right now. If breaking through this, which we did last week, we broke through it, and we found support at this level. Now, doesn't mean it's gonna stay above that forever. Like, if it wants to come back down and test the low again, it could. So that's something to watch out for. Again, another reversal here, not a good sign. This one, yeah, it didn't even have a chance. It gave up the lows so fast here. And then now we just keep heading low. And look at how fast it's closing that gap here. Again, generally when it close the gap, it should bounce near that level here. Um, but if it doesn't, then that's another big negative, right? You know, so something to watch out for. Now today, stocks on the move. We do have lots of volume. Let me go back to the volume here. It doesn't show up on the index itself, so that's interesting. But on the growth stocks, we're seeing lots of volume today, movement. Um, I'll just go through this quickly. PGY, um, not on my list. OGO. So the gold is trying. Is a lot of them move up, today. Let's look at gold right here. So you see, very similar to the index. It gap up, except this gap up is way above the 10-day, right? So, and it's trading pretty tight right now. So that looks pretty good. Like this is exactly what you want to see after it came up and on the right side. And this is a pretty good pullback, I would say. If we do come back out, that would be pretty good. And I think this is a good entry point today. So one stock reported today is Barrick Mining, I believe. Gap up here, really strong movement. Um, yeah, it says reverse though, like this morning, but it's like I said, it's still way above the gap, right? So even if it break this low, and then bounce back, that will be, for me, that will be a sign to enter for sure. Yeah. So let's see how that goes. But again, Barrick Mining pretty strong here. Let me see. There's other ones. I think I saw earlier. I saw GFI. Let's go to GFI. Here's another one. Okay, looking pretty good. This one is still at the upper range of like near the top of the range, so that is even better. Let me see on my list here. We have silver here. Silver is coming back as well. We look at the silver price. It's very similar to gold chart. Looks identical. And then we have all gold, Aura Minerals. This one has pulled back somewhat. So yeah. But anyhow, so the gold stocks are moving today. Silver stock moving. There's in terms of oil and gas. Let's see. This one is one stock here. MPC, Marathon Petroleum, holding pretty tight. Looking pretty nice right now. Um, Yeah, so that looks okay. Yeah, oil and gas hasn't been the strongest, been very choppy as well. Um, Let me go back to the list here. So let's keep going. Again, the tech stocks are still similar names that are moving. So for example, Light here, this one, a little bit more volatile now. You can see last week it went from there to there at the lows, and then now we have a big gap up making new high. This is definitely looking more and more climatic, at least the short term, and the angle is super sharp. So, if you're able to hold this, and that'll be great. But it's hard to add at this level because it's just so extended. And then obviously the other group that does well, actually, yeah. Hold on a second. Let me go back to light. Another one similar to this is CN. This one also, need to get my markups here. This one also bouncing really strong this morning. Looking really good here. New high. It does look a little bit, definitely you can see across the upper channel line here. So to me, that looks more like a sell signal. Um, but on the weekly chart, it still seems fine. So depends how you want to trade this. But yeah, it's definitely starting to look, quite extended now. The other group obviously has been very strong this rally is MU Micron in the data storage group. You see this one also bouncing up. I mean, these stocks are really hard to trade if you sold last day and then it's already get about 6%. And then, and you can see the choppiness recently, right? It's just really wild swings. So we probably closer to the end than the beginning. And here's STX also doing well. WDC, look at this again, new high. Ascendis, it's waiting for this to load here. We can just look at that list here at the top. We have SanDisk, NVK. Um, Here you go. Really big move here, 8% move. I mean, last day it didn't even drop. That is quite impressive. I think it was earnings, right? I'm pretty sure it was. Um, Anyhow, then we go to let's go to app loving here. Trying to bounce back right now. Oh, and the chart looks a little bit weird. There you go. Yeah, so it's coming out of this range here. Now it did pull back this morning, but it's still overall still look pretty good. Palantir bouncing back above the 10-day. I mean that's good sign. The question is can it hold here? And so far it's hold. Looks like it's holding. You look at intraday chart. It's not giving back, too much too fast. So it most likely will hold. Nvidia, this one is coming back down to the lows. Again, we'll see if we find support. This one also gap up above the 10-day this morning, and again we're coming back down right now. So again, don't know if those stocks will hold, but that's the key. If they can hold, that'll be a good sign for some of this AI related stocks. SITM, this one a little bit again very volatile. You can see the swing here from there to there. Right, this morning is already pulling back. That's the thing that I don't like about this market right now is just how volatile the stocks are, and and yeah, and all these gap ups and stuff. Um, this one coming out of the space here again, it has pulled back, but this morning it did break out. So yeah, don't know if they'll work, but that's what's happening right now. Um, let's look at TSM. This one also pulling back a little bit. Net Cloudflare. This one kind of try to come out and it's pulling back as well. So a lot of stocks pulling back this morning from the high. So um, on the retail side, we have the two stocks that really stand out is Expedia, really strong move right now. And then I think there's earnings, but the earnings symbol is not showing for some reason. I think let's read W Wayfair. This one is also looking really good, bouncing from Friday as well. Um, there's cars, there's LNW, Look, Shark Ninja. Let's look at Shark Ninja. I think it's making a move today, 4.3%. So this one is starting to form the lower channel line here, which looks good. And but we do have strong resistance near 100, as two big moving averages are converging there. All right. On the industrial side, again more related to AI here, CLS. This one's starting to look also very choppy, right? And anyhow, it is above the 10-day, but up 4.7%. So it did come back up with the 10-day, but right now it's starting to fall again. So again, I think today is very important. If today the market cannot hold the gains, I feel like this is like almost the last breath for the rally here. Because as the stock's breath start to diminish, let's quickly take a look at the stock breath. RSP for the equal weight S&P. Here you go. It was holding pretty tight last week, but it didn't, like, even though the market was down last week, it was holding pretty tight, which is a good sign. But this is the rejection right now happening this morning, as it couldn't come back across that line. So this is for S&P. We go to Nasdaq, equal weight, same thing. Look at that rejection there. Now we still have the 50-day line support. Let's see if we can find support here again. But this morning, these are the negatives here. Is the breath's not there, and the market has seems to be just getting narrower and narrower. And the other thing I've talked about on my weekend videos is, despite so many stocks reporting good earnings, the reaction just wasn't as good, and so that's also not a good sign for the market, right? Anyhow, so that's that. Let me finish off this group here. We have Coherent. Um, this one is still going pretty strong. And then we have MOV. This one has been volatile. It's again trying to come out right now. It's pullback. So we'll see if it works or not. Um, on the health side, we have ATAC. This one looking really nice. Very stable movement, even though this is not a big cap. LLY, Lily, this one continues to go. Looks like trying to break out this morning. If you go to weekly chart, this would be a very giant breakout right here. So that looks pretty good. PAHC, this one moving up nicely here. Found support right there. That looks really good as well. We have resell. This one not moving much, but it's holding the gains from last week. So overall, it's still above the 10-day. Yeah, it looks really good too, chart wise. We already talked about the gold. Financials, again, financial hasn't been strong. AON, this is insurance broker, holding tight at the lows here, but it's not moving much. This is BCS, Money Center Bank. This one is doing well. Look at Barclays. It's actually doing really well. Looking pretty good. I think a lot of the big bank group are doing well. Yeah, KBE is the bigger bank group, I think. It's starting to come up like this morning. So, but has been on a long downtrend. So at least it came above this trend line this morning, but it has pulled back though. But yeah, I think like other stocks in this group, Goldman Sachs. Look at that, it's trying to come out. MS trying to come out. Citigroup, same thing. But every time you're trying to come out, you just get pulled back. MBBK, Northeast Regional Bank. This one's trying to come out this morning, but pull back. Um, NWG, I think. There's another bank in Scottish bank. This one is also like Barclays coming up. So those two are looking pretty good though, because they're new highs. So yeah, overall, let's take a last look in the marketplace. We have corrected, just like here we corrected, we bounce back and just wobbly, and eventually we come back out and then we pull back. So it's not easy. This one come back, pull, bounce back up. So this was very similar to right now. Now it could stay at this 10-day for a few days before going higher and then pull back. So it almost seems like there's always another test, at least the last two times here. So even though it come back up, it might go sideways and then do another test. I don't know, but that's what happened the last two times, and then before it bounced. So or it might, yeah. So or it might just keep going. I don't know, um, but those are the scenarios. Thank you all for watching. Have yourself a good trading day. Bye now. Please like and subscribe.